Good afternoon and welcome back to Asgard and welcome back to Crackpack. So over here I've been setting up a new building, working on it a bit. And you'll notice that we've got a couple spawners in here. This is going to end up being a spawner building, just for all different kinds of spawners. And we'll probably make a second and maybe even a third floor, we'll see. Because I do want to go ahead and automate pretty much every mob that we can get our hands on. But over here, if we pull this switch, you'll notice that we get a wisp. 4 wisps. And then over here, this one, it seems to have a little bit of issue running sometimes. It'll run out of power, you'll notice. There we go, we got an Enderman. That's just because we've been having issues, of course, with Ender Pearls. We don't ever have enough of them. And because it's still making a lot of those into liquid, and I've just been burning through those and not really keeping up on them. I've also been working on the blood magic area a bit. It's not totally finished, but today we're going to be working on Thaumic Energistics, to be more precise. You'll notice over here I have a Thaumic setup going on. I did a bit of research, got most everything researched, minus like the essentia providers and stuff. Today I just want to start working on getting the mainframe of everything set up. And then I also made a couple crafting scepters, silverwood scepters. I have one here and one over at our Applied Energistics building. That's just to make it a lot easier on us as far as crafting goes. It'll be even easier once we have CV up and going. This node now is up to 108 Aqua, 53 on Perdito, 23 Terra, and so on and so forth. Anyway, also you'll notice that my Sanguine set is now in here. So what we can do is we can just hit right there, and it's going to switch over and give us our Sanguine set whenever we want to craft with it. So it does make things a bit easier on us. And actually, you'll also notice that our alchemical furnaces are gone from down here. I still have these jars. We'll get rid of those after this episode, but Thaumic Energistics is something that I like to kind of get into fairly quickly. So let's go ahead and get started with it. The first thing that we're going to want, let's go ahead and switch this over, is we're going to want some way to store essentia within our AE system. So we're going to have to make storage cells, of course, and let's go ahead and make some of these 1Ks, and we'll grab ourselves 61. That sounds wonderful. And this should actually, it'll get those crafted before too long. But we'll go ahead and get our next batch of stuff, which will be 4Ks. So we got 10 of those. Then we're going to get, 16K. Which now, 16K does require some Salus Mundus, so just be aware of that. I did go ahead and make a little bit of that. We are going to need some more quartz glass. Okay. Quartz. I never taught it quartz glass? Really? Okay. Let's go teach it that really quick, because that's something that's pretty important. Also, I know on my All the Mods series, I had a request to make the videos more like around 20 minutes. So if you guys want me to do that on here, I do not mind a bit. We'll try it out today and see what you guys think, and if that's something that you guys want, we will start doing that. Oh yeah, alloy. Alright, so now we're ready to make these. So let's go ahead. We got 3 of those, and we're going to go ahead and push it just a little bit more and get ourselves 64Ks. I prefer to make 64Ks of these if at all possible, just because you're going to be using a lot of these, like a lot of the essentia. So these have a limit, you'll notice. Well, let's go ahead and actually make the the housing for it. And that. Oh, and we're also going to need some warded glass. So let's go ahead and grab that. We're going to need more great wood. And get our warded glass. And then lastly, you will use a lot of fire for this stuff, just for the record. And then lastly, we'll get our 64K essentia storage cell. Now you'll notice that the 64K, I need to get that charge back up. The 64K has a limit of 12 essentia types, and then of course the standard 65,536 bytes that it can use. So let's go ahead and go throw this into a drawer, and we'll probably fairly soon we may set up a way to automatically keep this stuff, like once it starts getting filled, it'll make new ones for us and throw those into there. But we can just throw this into any standard ME drive, and it's going to work in there. And the next thing that we're going to want is, go ahead and go to Thaumic Energistics. We're going to want ourselves a oh, where's it at? I cannot see it. There we go. Essentia import bus. Because we're going to need to import Essentia into the system, we're going to need to get ourselves a filtered Essentia tube. And let's actually go ahead and get 2 of these, because we're going to want 2 of these import buses for the way that I have things set up. We're going to want ourselves a couple warded jars, 4 of those. And then a diffusion core. And actually I need 2 of these. I need more annihilation cores. Why is this not making processors? I don't understand it. Okay, it's making printed logic. It was backed up on requests for other circuits that it was going through first. That was the problem. So anyway, because it needed printed silicon, so I've just got it making like 1,000 of those. So anyway, so we've got our logic processors now. So we're going to need, I don't need that. This one's got a crafting scepter too, by the way. I don't know if I think I told you. But we are going to want to get ourselves one more of these import buses. And what are we missing now? Alright, and now that we've got those import buses, you'll notice I went ahead and got some charcoal cooking up. It's making potentia and ignis for us. And what we're going to do is we're going to set up jars on top of this. I think is how I want it. And then what we'll do is we'll just run. By the way, I have coal coke being imported on the bottom side. There's an import or an export bus over there that's just exporting coal coke and keeping that filled for us. But we're just going to run some tubes up here, and now this will start. Well, right now it's got potentia in there, but once we empty this, it'll be okay. And actually, I want to bring this up on one here. We'll put our Essentia import bus right there, and then we are going to put our smart cable. Actually, we're going to need one more of these. Just like that. And this should start importing stuff from that jar. Okay, this is not working like it should be. So we're going to try setting up our ME drive like right next to this. I've had problems in the past where it doesn't want to recognize it initially, but once it starts getting some essentia in there, it'll start recognizing it. And it's still not. Okay. Oh. I finally found it. Okay. So at least now it's getting essentia in there. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to let this storage cell build up, and then I'll remove this ME drive, move it over there, and then we should be set. So now this is going to start filling up with ignis, and actually let's really quickly pull this off. We're going to put that one onto there. And let it start taking some of that ignis for us. I tried like everything over here and it just refused to work. I'm going to go ahead and pull this really quick. And I don't know where my traveler's wand went. But we will pop on over here. and see if we can access it now. It's acting up. I've been doing all kinds of stuff to try to get it to work, and it just refuses. So it's in there. If we check, oh, I don't have an essentia or essentia monitor over here just yet. If we pop over to the Thaumic Labs, let's see. Yeah, see, it's not picking up the essentia over there for whatever reason. Okay, I don't know. I've tried. I mean, I've made sure everything's chunk loaded. Everything's good. For some reason, when it's over there, it will not export the essentia. I mean, other items are going into that exact same ME drive and everything, but it just doesn't like it being at a long distance. Also, when I have it over there, the essentia terminal won't pick it up either. So, I'm not entirely sure what's going on. But something is going on. And then, of course, we still got all these jars here that we have to clean out and all that good stuff. I am going to go ahead and snag those. So, I guess for now, let's put... Let's see. Let me just put the... ME drive right over here. And we'll figure out something. I'm going to keep playing with it off camera and stuff. We'll just put it like right there. No. We'll just put it right there for right now. And we'll throw in our sail. And hopefully it'll pick it up here in just a second. Yeah, there we go. And then what we can do, of course, is stuff like this that we've got. Well, this first cell, we're just going to prioritize things. So stuff like ordo that we know, we want that stuff in there. We're just going to put it onto here. And we should see this start to drain. It's going to add another essentia type into here. Eventually. This stuff seems to be acting up. I don't know, though. Like, if you notice, my entire applied energistics system has been acting up lately. And I'm not sure. Like, right now, it should be pulling that stuff, but it's not. Oops. Okay, it's finally started draining off that ordo. So very, very good. It's mega slow about it. I think it's trying to link up the import bus maybe with the sales or something. I'm not entirely sure. But you'll notice here that if we go in here and look, we've got all this stuff here. And we'll go ahead and sort it by number. Let's go ahead. And after this, really the only jars that we're going to have around the base anymore is going to be the 2 jars sitting right here as import. Now you can, if you so desire, there's other ways to go about this. Whoops. You could do a system with golems, and you can actually use these jars as like your storage. Instead of using the sails, you can use those jars and do essentia storage buses on it. Now, if you do that, I would suggest that you use... why is it not pulling in the vitreous? It's got plenty of space. I don't know. This stuff is so buggy, I've noticed lately. That one's working, but this one's not now. Like, I don't even know. And that's like... A lot of times my AE system will kick off for no obvious reason at all. So I have no clue. There we go. And we're probably actually approaching, yeah, we got two more essence slots that we can put into that. We'll do, I guess, these. Metallum and Arbor. And that's pretty much everything that this one's going to hold. Now we will add in more drives and all that good stuff to give us more essentia types, but you'll notice that we've got them all in here. So very, very good stuff. That's kind of my goal, is to get all this changed over so that we can have our essentia all connected up to the AE network. So the next thing that I'm going to want, let me go ahead and do this essentia provider research really, really quick, and I'll be right back. Alright, so we got our essentia provider now, and if you recall this setup, you know, it's fairly useful, but it's so clunky that, you know, adding all those jars and all that stuff to it, it doesn't work that well overall. So what the essentia provider does is it fixes that issue. And what we're going to do, let's go ahead and set up our essentia provider. I guess we'll set it right here, I guess, at least for now. I might move this. This is subject to change. But right now it's close to our system and everything. Do I have this? That. Then we'll put down our crucible and our constructs. And smack that with the wand. And now all we have to really, really do is plug up, say, a mnemonic matrix here. We'll put, for right now, we're just going to use a chest. Eventually we'll have like a maybe a chest with an import bus to pipe it back in the system. And then for our essentia provider, we'll put it here. We've got to do a lot of wall fixing, of course, in this area. And this works pretty much like an interface. It's going to connect over to this alchemical construct, and we could always put another alchemical construct here to have it linked up if we wanted to. And then what we're going to do is let's go ahead and remove this for now. Now this, you can't really facade as easy. Well, I don't know. I haven't tried the Applied Energistics facades, so we might try those out. That might work. But I know like carpenter's blocks and stuff like that won't connect with it. So that's why I'm trying to avoid running it through that area. And then we'll bring it up like that. So we have an essentia provider that is on the purple line. And let me go ahead, set that up. And so the way that we can make this work is, I keep saying device offline. Let's go ahead and, okay, for example, magic tallow. So if we wanted to normally do this, we'd have to like give it Percantio. That's online now, okay. We'd have to give this Percantio and all of that through those jars, but now we can just throw rotten flesh in there, select magic tallow, and that essentia provider is going to provide the needed essentia from our system to this alchemical construct. And there we go, there's our magic tallow. So that makes, of course, as you guys recall, I hate the crucible. I don't use it. I avoid it as best I can, and I rush to the alchemical construct. And then I also hate putting jars in this alchemical construct, so I try to rush to essentia providers as well. Honestly, having this system set up, this is one of the major things that makes Thaumcraft so much more enjoyable and so much more easy, because you're not constantly messing with jars and all that stuff. Also, we can, theoretically, we can export essentia like elsewhere using the export buses for, say, an arcane boar or something like that. However, it's been really acting up today, so it seems like everything has to be like in the same room for it to actually recognize and everything. So I'm going to keep playing with it and see if I can get that fixed, because I really don't want our ME drives over here. If need be, I will set them over here, but I'd really like to have them over at the AE building. So that view, I think, is starting to come together. I need to work on the actual AE building a bit, and I need to finish that building. But once all three of those like big buildings are set up over there, I think it's going to look pretty good. You know, once they're finalized and everything. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to try to keep these videos, or at least this video, shorter. If you guys like the 20-minute episodes, as opposed to 30 minutes, let me know, and I will do my best to start doing that more often. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already for more daily videos. Next episode, I feel like we haven't, I was doing the Galacticraft stuff as tech for a while, which really I think it should have classified more as exploration after like the first couple of Galacticraft episodes. So we're going to go back into tech next episode because I want to upgrade power. We're actually starting to kind of pull on power pretty heavily. I do need to go through and change up. I've been changing up some of the conduit lines. You'll notice that we've still got a few here that are enhanced. Then we've got some ender. I'm probably going to grind the ender dragon, resurrect him and all that, and maybe upgrade this whole system up to the draconic energy system instead of this wyvern level, because for one, the draconic's going to be able to move a lot more power, but then we also need to actually upgrade a power system. So I think that's what we're going to work on next episode, is maybe increasing our power generation for the base and making a bit better power grid. So anyway, I hope you guys join me for that. After that episode, we'll probably go to our asteroid belt and finish out, kind of finish out Galacticraft a bit. And then we'll switch gears and finish out Twilight Forest, because we need to do that as well. But anyways, I hope you guys join me for all of that. Good fun. And until next time, as always, do take care. And I hope to see you guys then.